Hi, friends. I wanted to touch base with you during this holiday season. And now I have an incredible miracle, Hallmark type Christmas story to tell you that has happened to me. I realize right now some of you may be really going through a difficult time. You might be really grieving this year, or you may be on top of the mountain. Wherever you're at, you're going to love to hear the story because it's about the faithfulness of God. It's about His Word being true. It's like knowing you know me. So it's not a miracle that happened overseas, it's right here and in my life. And it's to boast on God and not on me. It's to encourage you and let you know that you have not been forgotten by God. And I believe that He wants me to tell you this testimony. Well, the last few months have been really stretching me because I've had an awful lot of expenses, nearly $7,000 in expenses. I had my eyes surgery done, and I had water heaters and heating systems and tires, and you name it, it has come to me like all of a sudden. Well, even my daughter offered to help, with my eye surgery, and I said no, because I realized that this now I was standing in that position of where I have been teaching and preaching through my seminars about God providing for widows. And not just for widows, but for all of His children. But especially when you're in a place where I'm at and where many of my friends are that's watching this, was like, God, are you really our provider? Do you really see us? Well, this is the story. On Thanksgiving, that night of Thanksgiving, I checked my phone to see about my monthly pension that comes in from Tom's police department. And it always comes up pending, and it said pending December 2nd. So I checked later, but there was another pending underneath there, and it was from the same place, and I couldn't understand it. And I kept looking at it and checking, like, where's this pending from? And sure enough, it was from the Pension Center for $7,411. Well, I was like, what on earth? Did I get somebody else's pension? Or what is this? Well, it was a holiday, so I couldn't call until the following Monday, kind of wondering what in the world is going on. Well, sure enough, I called the pension office, and they said, why, yes, ma'am. She said, didn't you get a letter? And I'm going, no, I got no letter. I have no email. I don't know if I have somebody's pension or what's going on. And they said, no, said, this is catch-up payments. Now, I can't even really be sure to tell you, but I think it had to do with the retirement fund and the pension from the union. But the bottom line was, she said, negotiations, I guess, completed about the same time that Tom, my husband, passed away. And so somehow, I guess, I got overlooked. Anyway, this was called catch-up payments for $7,411. No explanation, anything, just showed up there. The exact amount of money that I needed. Well, that was really incredible. And as I pondered that, I realized the Lord was kind of speaking to me about how that He was working on this problem long ago. He was behind the scenes. He knew what my need was for now, when I had no idea that I would need this or that Tom would be gone. And He spoke to me, He said, Susan, I'm working on your need already for what you need in the future. Time is nothing to me. And for me to keep trusting. So that just blessed me. But then I sat down, I was getting ready to write out take care of that bill on that credit card. And then I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't, pay it all off. It's Christmas, and maybe I shouldn't do, And then the Lord rebuked me. He really did. And it was said, Susan, you're acting like you're living in a spirit of poverty. I said, Lord, I'm not have a spirit of poverty. And He said, anytime my children don't completely trust for their future, and you don't think there's enough, or you think that you've used up, then that's a spirit of poverty. And He brought to mind about the children in the wilderness and how they got manna for that day. And the reason He did that is so that they would trust Him. and that they didn't hoard it up, and they knew that he would be there. And he said, that's how I want it with you, is that you spend that, pay that back, because there's always more. Whatever your need is, I'm already working on that. And then that just blessed me, and I started thinking about how I had been teaching in the seminars on Jehovah our provider, and actually seeing it. And so I went back into the names of God, and as I started studying about the Jehovah provider, there was another name, which of course I've seen many, many times, but it didn't mean as much as it did right now. And it's Jehovah El Roi. And he says, I see you. That is so powerful, that he's saying he's the God that he sees us. He sees you where you're at right now. He knows what your need is, whether it's financial, emotional, spiritual, family needs, whatever. He says, I see where you're at. Now, he doesn't just see it, but then he's the provider for that. And so I wanted you to be encouraged with that word of knowing that he is our Father. He will take care of us. He's already working behind the scenes for you. And so I just want you to just go in victory today. Enjoy your holiday. Enjoy this Christmas time. And just allow the Holy Spirit just to overtake you with whatever it is that you need, to know that he's going to provide that for you. So have a blessed Christmas. So glad that I could share this with you. And I hope that this has helped you today, that there's someone that's there. I thought about whether to share this or not. But I believe he says we overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. And my testimony says to do it again for your life. So be blessed.